All right. Welcome to the stream. I think we are good. I think we're live. Let me get everything a little bit adjusted here. USDGC Doubles didn't go great. I'll be perfectly honest. It was not perfect. Brett and I had a lot of different struggles throughout the weekend, a lot of different things that just wouldn't quite go right. But we made it through. We are alive. Let's see, are we a little bit off here? Or no, I'm off that way. Wesley says, watching Lord of the Rings 2 Towers at the moment. Heck yeah, man. That's a fantastic movie. I'm always torn between like picking from the three which one's best. Because the Fellowship of the Ring, the journey begins, everybody gets together, you strike out on the adventure. Then, of course, in the 2 Towers and the Return of the King, you have all sorts of action and battle scenes, and then you have the resolution. So it's just such a hard call, but the ending is so good. I think you just kind of have to go with Return of the King for the best. But they're all so good. 2 Towers is fantastic. GoCap says, won the last giveaway. Hopefully I'll get lucky again, and good luck. I will be running the giveaway right around 7:30, so about 25 minutes from now or so, I will be running that, and we'll just kind of be hanging out and chatting until then. Doc says, good luck. Doc says, I don't think 30-something out of almost 100 is bad. Let's be real here. Even though we placed in the top 40, we played bad. We did not play well. We started by double bogeying hole 1, the first hole of the tournament, and it's less than a 300-foot hole. We both airmailed our putts and rolled out of bounds. And in doubles, you don't have to do that. You can lay up and just take a par. We elected to not do that. So we started out on that resoundingly wonderful note. Played mediocre golf for the rest of that round, just really not converting on as many opportunities as we should have. And then round 2, we made tons of mistakes, being too aggressive at Winthrop, throwing out of bounds. I ended up going into the OB or the hazard by less than 2 feet 5 different times. Just like a really rough. We both lost a disc. I lost 2 discs in the water. It was just a nightmare. Today, Brent and I finally actually played really well, and we scored barely better than round 1 because 4 holes in a row, one or both of us chained out of our putts. So we just could not get the birdies to stick in the basket. We just couldn't do it. Anyway, I can explain more about doubles, but we didn't play well. So you can say that top 40 is good out of 100. Yeah, we didn't play well. We played bad. We played bad golf. For our capabilities, we did not play well. Even though we stuck with it and we scored okay relative to some of the field, we made the cut of top 50, barely, by 1 stroke. We did not play well. Wesley says, okay, this is the first giveaway I participated in. Heck yeah. And again, not that it's too late to enter the giveaway. Everyone has already entered into it, but in about 25 minutes, I'll be giving away the Thrasher, Scorch, what is this one? Wraith, and MD1 will be given away shortly, right about 7:30. So 25 minutes, we'll be giving those away. And it will be a live random drawing, so I have no idea who's going to win. Andre says, I'm going to take it from you, Luke. Emmer Chicken here says, yee. Thanks for hopping on and joining. Dude just says, on the course, waiting for the giveaway. Awesome. Getting that round in, getting some practice. Doc says, good luck on both tonight, Dujit. Wesley, watching Lord of the Rings backwards to see which movie I like more. Interesting. So you started with Return of the King? That's pretty fun. Wesley, gonna start the first one here in a minute. Already finished Return of the King. Heck yeah. Okay, so yeah, Return of the King first. 2 Towers being wrapped up and back to the Fellowship. That's hilarious. Andrew says hi. Thanks for hopping on and joining us. Doc says, Wesley, I found Punky Doodles on YouTube, and I've been going down a rabbit hole. I don't know about Punky. I don't know what that is. Doc. Justin's here. Thanks for hopping on, Justin. Yo, thanks for being here. Dude, it says wouldn't mind that MD1. I mean, it's pretty cool. That stamp is awesome, and I'd like an MD1. I think I like the flight of an MD1, and you can't go wrong with an MD1 that looks sweet. Doc says to new people, disc golf. If you fall in love with it, be prepared for a rough time. Most search engines need 3 letters or more. Interesting. Interesting. Dude, think I'm developing a callus on a finger that wraps around the rim of the disc, which is interesting. I have a little callus on my pointer finger as well, where I wrap around for the rim of the disc. Because I throw the fan grip here, so I definitely have a callus here from grabbing it. Larry, pretty sure I got COVID like 2021. Zach's here, hanging out. Thanks for being here. Giveaway is at 7:30. We'll be running it at 7:30. Liquid Band-Aids are good. I don't know about that. Like, I shouldn't phrase it like that. Liquid Band-Aids can be helpful. I don't like putting stuff on my hands when I want that. I want to be able to feel what I'm throwing. I want to be able to have my own skin on the disc. And like getting a callus is no big deal. Like I keep getting and losing a callus on my right hand ring finger from putting because the way I kind of pop the disc out of my hand, I kind of come up and like pop it up and like put a lot of pressure on that side of my finger. So I grow that callus up, and then it kind of just sheds and then builds back up again. So I'm constantly like callusing on the side of that finger. Of course, you play guitar, which I dabble a tiny bit in guitar. You get little calluses on your fingers as well. Just how it goes. Part of life. Your body adapts. David Vasquez says, I need to go and play frisbee golf again. Yes, you do. Got to get out there, get on the course, have a good time, just have fun. Don't worry about the score the first time. Maybe the second time, try to score well. But yeah, just get out there, have a good time, man. It doesn't matter how long it's been. It's time to get back for a good round of golf. It's time. Emmer Chicken says, by the way, your stretch advice for dynamic before and static after have been helping so much, and I'm not getting pulled muscles anymore. Awesome. That's so great to hear. I'm glad. That's really good. Yeah, that's helped me. I definitely could stretch after more. I'll put it that way. I tend to just get in the car and leave. But I have done that kind of dynamic warm up, which has been pretty good. But I have some like tightness. Actually, my shoulder. Another announcement. I was going to play in the Monday qualifier tomorrow. Not expecting, of course, to qualify for USDGC. I'll be honest, Winthrop is so not my course. The competitive field is so talented. But I was going to play. I was going to enjoy the qualifier and kind of see, how I play against the field. As I was wrapping up really like the last 5 holes today of doubles, my shoulder was really kind of starting to feel it. And I don't usually get pain in the shoulder. Usually I have like a sore back from not following through well enough or just throwing too much. But I had shoulder pain and I was like, this is strange. And by the time I got home, I still had it. So I dropped out of the qualifier tomorrow. I wanted somebody to get my spot. I wanted to make sure I got my refund. And my shoulder is feeling mostly better right now. But if I do play tomorrow, it's not going to be Winthrop. It's going to be a relaxing local course that if I have to stop partway through my round, I can do that without the, DNF happening. So that was unfortunate. I really did want to get the experience of a Monday qualifier. It was on my kind of goals for the year. And to drop out is a little bit sad, but I also kind of feel like I would have done it. I have played the course. So I kind of feel like I didn't let myself down for like my goals for the year, but it is unfortunate that I'm just not actually getting that qualifier in. Too bad. Jacob Hendricks says, no, yeah, unfortunate. I just don't want to risk anything. And after playing Winthrop for a practice round on Wednesday, after losing 2 discs out there, after competing there yesterday, after losing 2 more discs there yesterday, there are so many little reasons that when I got that shoulder pain at the end of my round, I was already in the back of my mind, like, I don't know if I really want to go throw myself out at Winthrop again, the USDGC course. And when I had that shoulder pain, I was like, I just think that it's not worth the risk anymore. So sadly, I'm out. Zach says I want the MD3. Yeah, the that serpent stamp is pretty cool. And it is an MD1, but yeah, it is really, really nice. Just so cool looking. Giveaway in 18 minutes. Doc says lost 4 discs. Oh dude, if I win a disc tonight, you can keep it. That's rough. Yeah, I mean, so if you count everything, I lost 7 discs this week. So I lost 1 in practice at Camp Canaan. I lost 2 in practice at Winthrop. Then I went back to Camp Canaan and I lost 2 in practice in the water. Then I competed, didn't lose any the first day, lost 2 at Winthrop, and then I didn't lose any today. So seven discs that I lost, unfortunately. Yeah, so this doubles tournament cost me 7 discs. The flip side is that I did pick up a player's pack. Well, technically part of the player's free. It wasn't technically in the player's pack, but I grabbed this Gateway Ether, which I'm pretty interested in. It's there's a 12-6 -1-2, and I like that 12-5 -1-2 spot, the Enigma. And I did lose an Enigma. Did I lose 2? I think I lost 2 Enigmas this week. So this is going to be a fun little, maybe not a replacement, but a try it out and see if it kind of fits the slot at all. Maybe gives me a little more distance with the extra glide. It is 176 grams. I thought it might be lightweight, but it's full weight. So I did snag that. Then we also have a future giveaway, courtesy of Brent, donating his Sun King disc, which is going to be this Gorilla stamped crank. That's going to be in a future giveaway. So shout out Brent for donating that to the cause, which is great. Then for the players pack, I also grabbed myself this Halo Star Turn, which is pretty sweet. And this one is my favorite. This Roadrunner, Halo Star Roadrunner. I think this is a shelf disc. I just love the coloration, the blue. It's a little bit hard to see USDGC doubles on it, but I just love the colors a lot. So I did snag some discs this weekend, which is nice, but it's still tough to lose. Multiple Enigmas, a couple other discs that I like, my cap wrap. That was unfortunate. Yeah. Wesley says, oh man, that sucks, but better to take care of yourself. 100% good on you for dropping. Yeah, thanks. It's never a fun choice, and I think it's the first time, not the first time I've dropped out of a tournament, but for a potential like hurting myself situation. I think it's the first time. So that's too bad. I guess you have a birthday and you just start realizing your body's aging. It's falling to pieces. Doc knows what I'm talking about. And you just got to start dropping out of events. Doc says, oh, Brad's going to be just throwing Braves and shoes. Mostly Braves. Jacob says, 7 discs beats my record of 5 second USDGC dubs. At least you didn't lose 3 on 1 hole, like my former partner. 3 on 1 hole is unreal. That's crazy. Don't mean to laugh. It's very sad, but that's pretty wild. How do you lose 3 in 1 hole? That's insane. Wesley says, I have an Enigma. It was part of the first discs that I have. Yeah, it's a good disc. They can get beaten to heck and be like totally unusable or super, super, super flippy. But I do like having kind of a stable Enigma that's going to fight out and skip and flare at the end, and one that's more of kind of a straight shot or a little bit of drift to it. So I like having 2 in the bag. I lost my main Enigma twice now and replaced it twice. And the one I have right now isn't quite as stable as I like. I also lost my Hurricane, which is a real bummer because that is just not only a Sullivan Tipton Tour Series Hurricane, which is I like, but it's that consistently overstable finish. And now I don't have that. So it's getting kind of rough. The bag has taken some hits. Thankfully, most of the discs I put in the bag for the weekend for the purpose of practicing, for the purpose of throwing across the water. But even so, they're backup discs that I no longer have access to. So it's like, eventually I'm going to get to want those backup discs and they won't be there. So I have to keep replenishing. Just kind of a pain. Jack says, having either does fly good. The NXT plastic is super durable. Okay, interesting. That's good to know. Thank you. I'm going to be interested to give it a try, hopefully later this week. Doc says, Wesley, not how many discs you have, but how many discs will have after you buy more. Dude says, not to be mean or anything, but hearing all this makes me even more glad to have started disc golf young. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I think my shoulder pain is multiple practice rounds of bomber courses that I don't normally play, and then competing multiple days in a row. I also played multiple rounds last Tuesday before I did my practices Wednesday, Thursday, and then competed Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I've been like, I threw myself into a long week of disc golf, including a lot of full power shots. So I think the main real reason is just a bit of overwork. Just need a couple days of rest. I think I'll be fine. But yeah, starting it young is better. And if you get your form figured out early, that helps a lot too. Wesley says that's why I take it slow, Doc, just one every now and then. Smart. Doc says a water hole would be easy to lose 3, especially if not a good drop zone. That's true. And Zach just got an MB3. Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Doc says, do your warm-ups. Be careful if you want to be old and still playing like me and Brad. Of course. Doc putting us in the same age category is crazy. X Powerhouse says, cool shirt. Thank you. Love the classic Taco Bell. I wore it to a Taco Bell, and 2 of the employees liked it. They smiled and like mentioned it. They didn't give me any free food. So that was really sad. That was a real disappointment. Also, Cinnabon Delights were cold. That's a real bummer. Jacob says, hole 5 off the tee, 3rd shot, 4th shot, all dunked. Accidentally picked up our marker on the 2nd, so he didn't throw. I think I saved him another disc. Ugh. That hole destroyed me yesterday, but I did hit a really big putt. So Brent and I were coming through the end of our round yesterday. I didn't realize how bad our score was. Like, I knew we were playing poorly, but I had checked scores and we were in like 46th place. The cut is 50. So I'm thinking, oh no, we might actually not play on Sunday. We might not play today. And I look at Brent and I'm like, we just need to go par, stay better than top 50, and we'll play tomorrow. So we proceed to have a perfect tee shot, a perfect 2nd shot on hole 5, which plays across the lake, and 360 to the pin, we both throw in the water. Then Brent gets us to like 65, almost 70 feet for the putt, and I throw another disc in the water. So we get up to our bogey putt from almost 70 feet. It's a death putt. And I'm like, we're not going to qualify tomorrow. We're going to get a double bogey. If we birdie the last hole, we still might not qualify. And Brent says, I'm laying up, throws his putt up in the air, parks it next to the basket. I had a free putt at it. I hit the putt. We took a single bogey. It was like the best single bogey putt I've ever made. And we move on. We par the last hole. We get in by 1 stroke. We are in today to play the final round. It was kind of ridiculous. Like, we could have played so much better in so many ways, but to like get down to the wire and have to hit a 65-foot putt just to qualify in the top 50, just for a chance to play today, man, it was quite a week. It was quite a week. Mostly lowlights, a couple of highlights. Anthony Stapleton says, love the content, trying to grow up and be like you, LOL. Awesome. Hopefully you can surpass me. I would like that even more. But good luck diving into the future of disc golf, man. Future is bright. Hopefully you crush it. Doc says, for the price of Cinnabons, cold ones are uncalled for. Absolutely. And I got 12 of them. I got a full dozen Cinnabons, and I bit into one, and I was like, the middle of this is cold. And I talked to the guy behind the counter. I was like, hey, these are cold. Like, what's up with... And he's like, yeah, they just don't warm up. Our machine's broken. And I'm thinking, but you're selling them. Like, you sold these to me. You have like no remorse. There's no like make things right. It's just, yeah, we know. Sorry, deal with it. I was really kind of heartbroken. First negative, no, I shouldn't say that. I can't say first negative Taco Bell experience of my life, but it was kind of the most disappointing moment. I was like, dang, like, wow, really a bummer. Doc says, wait, so Brad threw 2 into the water in doubles and saying 3 in 1 hole is crazy. Well, it's the same hole, for one thing, Doc. It's the same hole that we're talking about. And yeah, it would be crazy to throw a third one into the water. Yes. Doc says, "What's the price of a dozen? I like Taco Bell, but seldom buy the Cinnabons." Yeah, I think it's $7.5. Zach says 10 minutes. Yep, about 8 minutes now till the giveaway. Cozy's here. Thanks for hopping on and joining us. Dude just says, "I think Brad beat me on fantasy this week. Fingers crossed." I don't know why you guys are all so bad at fantasy football because I'm not good. I am not good at fantasy football. I don't know what I'm doing. I won the first week without even being part of the draft. I just got auto picked a bunch of stuff and I didn't even set my team. It auto picked for me and I won the first week. Tell me how that happens. And then I tried to like optimize my team a little bit and like won again somehow. Then I think I lost one and I've won. I think I will win the next two. So like 4 out of 5. Guys, please just make. I don't know. I don't know what you have to do, but it should be easy to beat me. I'm not good at this. Please beat me. Please. Just why? I don't know. Doc, I don't think that you had all of your slots filled. I think you had people not playing. So I think you need to put somebody on your team and actually play them this week. Fantasy team stinks. I can't figure out how to draft a new QB. Like 5 of my people are injured. Oh, I'm sorry. That explains it a little bit. Cozy says, "I'd be bad at fantasy football. I'm number dumb." It is like, it's interesting how much the app like does for you to recommend things and project the number of points that someone might get and kind of I would say it's pretty educating. It's not perfect. Like there are a ton of things that I still have questions, like I just don't understand. But for the most part, it basically says, "Hey, here's the best suggested thing. Try this, and then you can tweak it if you want." So it's kind of nice that you don't have to know anything. I only know one of the players on my team, Patrick Mahomes. I think I've never heard of any of the other players. Dude just says, "Doc, go to waivers tab and click on one." Brent says, "Oh shoot, I left it in the car." Brent, oh, so shout out some of you guys. So Brent took up the initiative to arrange me getting a disc golf cart for my birthday, and I got it today. So thank you, Brent and Nolan, for arranging that, and for everyone. I know there are a few people who gave Brent some money so that he could buy the cart for me. So I don't want to just name drop. I heard rumors of a couple of people. So thank you to those who gave to give me a cart for my birthday. I am elderly now. I hit 30 years of age, so it's time for me to have a cart. I just hurt my shoulder today, apparently, just playing around of disc golf. So it's going to be nice to not have to hoist the bag up onto my injured shoulder and carry it around because I'll have a cart. It's one of the carts, it's light blue, which I love. And it's one of the carts where you assemble it and then you put your bag on it and it just attaches to it. And that's like exactly what I want because I feel like my bag is good. I don't feel like I want a Zuka have to only have the space that they have, which I've heard they're great. But I really like having my bag and just put it on the cart and drive it around the course, ride it, whatever, pull it around the course. So thank you everyone, especially Brent, for setting everything up for that. It's a really, really cool birthday gift that I'm very excited to start using. Unfortunately, I got it after wrapping up doubles this weekend, but no complaints about that. Maybe I wouldn't be so elderly right now. Luke says average round rating in UDisc is 222. Hey, not bad. That's over 900 rated by quite a bit. You're pushing your rating up. Cozy says, "Sure, got you." Brent says, "But wait till I'm back." Okay, so he's not even here. Doc says, "Ellis, grab a lightweight Rolo when the winds are high." Always with the worst advice. Oh, did Ellis hop in? Oh, Ellis says, "What's up? Didn't have a chance to play this weekend. 50-mile-per-hour winds with a storm." That explains the lightweight comment from Doc, of course. Brent says, "Not really here yet." Okay, whatever. Fantasy football, far from the worst part of my week. Oof. Doc having a rough week. I did hear, or I did see that Doc's leaving a comment on one of the videos. Rough week, and it's nice to see the video of Brent doing well, because Brent and I were doing pretty well at Bailey. By the way, if you haven't watched that video, it's a pretty great watch. There's some pretty awesome moments. We try to go 21 under on a 21 hole par 3 course, a pretty simple kind of pitch and putt style course at Bailey. And there's some highlights. So check that out if you haven't seen it. It's a fun watch. It's a great little video. Ellis says, yeah, Drew brought a fluid felon. Probably would have been a good day to test it. Oh, gosh. Dude just says, I was going to donate, but parents wouldn't let me. Oh, shoot. Dang parents. Doc says, I don't blame them. Thanks, Doc. Kipes and Stripes says, hey, my dude just got back from picking up my glitch that my 6-year-old left at hole 18 of my local course. Never trust a 6-year-old when he says that he grabbed the disc. Good life advice. Good life advice. Doc says, Brad, no rush, but yeah, if you could show the cart, I'm thinking of grabbing one soon. I will post a picture of the cart. And I think Brent videoed me opening the box. I don't know. He kept talking, so I don't know if he was trying to ruin the video or not. But yeah, so I should have something to work with, video and picture that I can post on the channel. So that will be coming soon. Alex hopped on and says, hi. Thanks for hopping on. Disc giveaway in 2 minutes. Doc says, I'm talking about for fun, not for real playing. I don't know. I feel like Doc's trying to tell you how to play better. Just bad advice. Zach says, you're 30. I guess 25. 20. I had a lot of 26 and 27. I'd say 27 was probably the most common guess. I had a surprising amount of 23. Like a lot of people guess 23. I think if I am clean shaven, I do kind of look more towards that 24, lower 20s. But with the beard, I just feel like I don't look that young. Maybe other people see me differently. That's fine. But I was kind of surprised at how many 23s I got for the guesses of my age. That was a lot of fun. A lot of you actually didn't guess 30. Only a few people actually guessed 30 years old correctly for my age. And several of those people knew me personally or knew that I was 30 already. So there were only like maybe 4 guesses that were actually correct. So that was kind of fun. Todd says putt on 6. Yes, in that Bailey video, you've got to watch hole 6. If you've seen my YouTube short of that hole of that putt, then you already kind of see it coming. But you've got to watch it because in context, it's so much cooler. So much cooler. Doc says it was Brad. Brent was, is, will always be amazing. There you go. Alex says, how do I enter? So unfortunately, the entry for the disc giveaway was in the last 2 weeks. So I'm just running the giveaway of everyone who is entered into it. But I will be doing more disc giveaways in the coming days. So keep an eye out for disc giveaway announcements. And all you need to do is be subscribed and leave a comment on the video that I make in the future. And then you'll be entered into the giveaway. Unfortunately, for the 1-2 day, it is too late to enter it. Okay, gosh, you guys are chatting too fast. Disrespect says, can't wait to see you at USDGC. I hope. I didn't get my spectators pass in the... Man, they're celebrating the disc giveaway early. I did not get my spectator pass in my players pack, unfortunately. And I emailed about it, and I haven't heard anything back. So I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to actually get in, like I should be for free, which is a real bummer. But I hope to be there. Anthony says, I was one of the right guesses of 30. Good guess. Mariana's meme says hi. We got a bunch of highs. Wesley says, I don't know if you remember, what do you throw for hole 2 at Harmony? At Harmony Bends, hole 2, I threw Echo off the tee, but I didn't flip it enough. If I were to replay it, I'd probably throw Brave. Or Soul. Maybe Soul. SM says, what's up, dude? Established 1995. That's correct. That's B. Yes, these are frisbees. Ugh. Technically speaking, in a sense, they're frisbees, but these are discs. These are disc golf discs. They all fly differently. But yes, they are in the frisbee family. Okay. Yes, I have a lot of them. You need a few hundred to really play. Disrespect. Only going Saturday, so meet up with me if you want my pass for Sunday. Okay, I will talk to you about that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. We are within 2 minutes of 7:30. Thoughts on the Nuke SS? Nuke SS is great. Do I have it here? I gave it to Brent. Brent, did you keep my Nuke SS? Yeah, I think Brent has my Nuke SS. It's a great disc if you have the arm speed to throw it. It's fantastic. If you don't bother. Like it's a higher level disc for sure. It's a great disc, but I feel ill prepared without 100 bagged discs. Great. Okay, guys, we are here. It is time for the disc giveaway. What did we give away last? Did we finish with like coolest disc? I feel like a lot of people loved the It and the Thrasher, but I feel like between the Scorch and the Wraith, we had a close second, and I do feel like most people were all about the MD1. So I think we'll conclude last with the MD1, the culmination of the giveaway, and we'll go with Scorch and Wraith, kind of second and third to last, whatever. And we'll start with the Thrasher and the It. All right, so that's the way that we're going to do it. That's going to be our order. So let me get a little space here. I've got to get everything presentable so that you can see the giveaway being fair and everything. Of course, I plugged in like that. Hopefully, in the near future, I will adjust my, the streaming method, and I'll be able to display, like share the screen with the draw names. But at least this way, you can really tell that it's authentic, because I don't know how I would fake holding up my laptop and doing everything completely live. It's impossible. So I don't have the ability to monitor the stream visually at the moment, but here is our giveaway wheel of names. We have 376 entries for this giveaway. By far the most that I've had for a giveaway. So you guys really went crazy leaving comments, and also I got like 140 new subscribers from the disc giveaway video. So thank you for subscribing. It means a lot to me. It's a huge part of being able to do more giveaways in the future. But I won't talk too long here. I have a long list, and you probably will not be able to actually... Oh, I should have brought my mouse over. Oh, there it is. You probably can't actually see it right now because the lighting is going to be terrible, but everyone's name should be over here. I'm going to do a really quick scroll through. So if you left a comment, your name should be here. I'm not guaranteeing you that you'll be able to see it, and most of them are in alphabetical order, but there's a few that are not. Good night. There's so many of you. I mean, 376 names is just insane. We got Flying Potato on there. We're in the K's. But anyway, this will give you an idea of everyone who's entered into the giveaway, which is unbelievable. If for some reason your name does not appear here, let me know. Oh, I've scrolled past. Okay. Let me know that your name didn't show up, and I'll review it and make sure it's not there. And if it's not there, and you did previously enter, leave a comment so that you should be entered in the giveaway, I'll make things right. Okay, let's go ahead for the lightweight Thrasher. We are going to spin the wheel of 376 possibilities, and here we go. We are going to see who wins. You can barely even see like the details on the wheel. It's so many names. And we have the Hogginator. Hogginator is the winner of the lightweight Thrasher. So congratulations, that's awesome. And we go remove here so that Hog doesn't win multiple times. Everyone just has the single chance to win. Rolling again for the It, which is a really sweet looking Halo It, pretty awesome. And we have Kenneth Robinson. Kenneth Robinson, congratulations. You have won the It. It's a really sweet stamp. I think you're going to really like it. All right. My laptop is way too heavy for this. Starting the third giveaway here, disc giveaway. This will be for the Scorch. So for the Scorch, we have DOP 17. So DOP17, congrats, you won the Scorch, and I will get in contact with you so that you can get that sent to you. All right, DOP17 won the Scorch. All right, next up, we're rolling for the Wraith. For the Wraith, nice video gamey stamp on that. And we have Jimmy MH4RI. So Jimmy ends up winning the Wraith. Congrats. This is a really sick stamp. I kind of grabbed it to celebrate my Birdie Time Gaming YouTube channel, which I haven't been uploading very recently, but keep your eyes peeled for stuff coming soon. So Jimmy, congrats on winning that Wraith. And now for the last one, I'm getting tired of holding this up. For the MD1, the Serpent stamped MD1, that's super, super cool. We have one more winner, and it is Brad Hill. Brad Hill. So congrats. I think this is the first giveaway where I didn't really recognize the names because we had so many kind of new people entering the giveaway, but Brad Hill winning the MD1. So congratulations to the winners. To get your disc, just reach out to me on Instagram, on Facebook, email, just something that's a direct message. I don't want you putting your address in the YouTube comments. And when you reach out to me, make sure that you also leave a comment right afterward and say, hey, I just sent you a DM on Instagram. I just messaged you on Facebook. However you reach out to me, that way I know that it's actually you. And I have had somebody in the past try to pretend to be a giveaway winner. They made a burner Instagram account or changed the name of an Instagram account. And it would be really tragic for somebody to kind of scam their way into getting a disc without actually earning it. And I don't want that to happen. So make sure that you reach out to me, and I will also make sure that it is you that I'm sending a disc to. Okay. I hope that was all visible. I'm sure that it wasn't perfect, but that is kind of the way of the giveaway right now, is a little bit low tech, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Okay, let's see. What did I miss here? If you don't have the arm speed, what would you pick instead of a Nuke SS? I think what you really want, if you're wanting max distance and you don't have that arm speed, I recommend something like the Brave or the River, something that's gently understable but has a lot of glide. So maybe T-Bird if you're thinking of Innova, maybe something like the Sagara or Cicada if you're thinking Discraft, something that if you don't have the high arm speed, but you can really get a move on a slower fairway driver that has a lot of glide to it and a little bit of turn. So that's what I would recommend personally before I would recommend a Nuke SS to someone. But if you can throw 380, then the Nuke SS is going to fly pretty well. Like, it's going to go far. So it just kind of depends on where your level of game is and what you really want out of it. If you want a disc that's just going to go left, then you can pretty much pick any 14-speed, 12-speed driver, and it's going to do that for you if you have that lower arm speed. So that would be my recommendation. I always lean toward slower drivers, slower fairway drivers that have a lot of glide. They seem to really zip out of the hand and go just as far as a lot of distance drivers can a lot of the time. Doc says, Brad, go by speed, slow to fast. There's no way. We have P29 from PNG coming into the chat. Thanks for hopping on and being here. Doc says, kids love pretending they have a school backpack on. I don't know if they do. Robin says, how does the giveaway work? Can I enter? Doc, appreciate you explaining. Too late to enter. He did a comment on the video type. Yes, but there will be upcoming giveaway videos. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel, and I will be running more giveaway videos. In fact, Brent donated a disc for a future giveaway today. So in the coming weeks, I'll be giving away this crank as an example in a future disc giveaway. And actually below the 5 I just gave away over here, I've got a stack of future giveaway discs. So those will be happening down the road. So when I do the live giveaway, then it's too late to actually enter the giveaway. But the week before, that's when you comment on the video and make sure that you're subscribed. Luke says, let's go 7.32K. Yeah, kind of crazy. I hit 7K subscribers on my birthday, and 2 weeks later, I have 320 more. And that, I mean, thanks to you guys jumping on, entering the disc giveaway, subscribing to the channel. It's really, really cool to see that huge just jump in subscriber base in the last couple of weeks. And we're already pushing towards 7,500. So that's very, very cool. Yeah, so that's really awesome. And it was really, really cool for me to kind of experience that in the aftermath of my birthday week, just kind of being able to kind of celebrate that and share that with you guys, seeing all of the comments, seeing all of you guess what my age is. It was just a lot of fun. So thank you all for jumping into the disc giveaway, entering in the comment section and leaving a comment. It was a lot of fun replying to all of them, although it took me a long time to respond to every single one of you because I got 402 comments on the disc giveaway videos. Some people commented twice, which is why there were only 376 people entered into the giveaway, but it was a lot. It was a lot. Todd says, I'm a software engineer and I set up his laptop to land on specific names while appearing random. Don't fall for it. I mean, you could say that, Todd, but you ended up winning a disc, so I thought I paid you to keep quiet. What are you doing? Trying to spill the beans. Doc says, way to go, Brad. I say it because he won't see it. I think it's a subscriber base. Yeah, you do have to be subscribed to have a chance to win a disc. Also, just for purposes of transparency, I used the wheel of names to kind of generate that random winner. So wheelofnames.com, if you want to kind of play around with their engine, it is like impossible to fake it. Like you can't, the only thing that I could possibly do would be to like record video of it. But you guys saw me like, you know, clicking remove and like spinning the wheel the next time. It would have been impossible to time that perfectly. I didn't do that. But anyway, yes, that's the website that I used. So you can kind of play around with that and verify it for yourself that there's no way to fake it. I know most of you wouldn't think that, but Brent did win twice, so I would understand. Seb Koff says, have that same shirt. It's such a great shirt. Doc says, why is the logo so small? Because it wants to be small. Seek Truth Now, hopping on. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. Congrats to the winners. Yes, congrats to the winners. Okay, wow, I am a little bit behind. Yes, congrats to everybody who won. Doc says, Dujit, maybe you'll win a shoe. Yeah, you'll win next time. Don't go insane, Dujit. Please don't go insane. Please don't go insane. Pipes and Stripes says, well, dang, now I can't bag 101 discs. Sebkov says, Sidewinder. That is a good suggestion for somebody wanting distance out of a somewhat flippy disc. And it was my first driver. Very, very good. Very, very good driver. Doc says, Kipes, maybe you can get the kid to work painting fences. Tell him it's just like Huck Finn. Use the money to buy discs. If he's heard of Huck Finn. Who knows? Kids these days. Wesley says, love throwing the Leopard and the Stig. They are nice fairways. Stig is great. I don't bag it, but I threw one once and parked it for birdie, so it's a great disc. 100% success rate for me. And Leopard is fantastic. Brent loves his Leopard 3s. Unfortunately, waited to start throwing them this weekend until too late in some of the rounds, but threw a few great ones. Stig, not Stag. It is Stig. It is Castoplast. So it's one of their 4-letter, not a real, I shouldn't say that. Not an English word. Not an English word name for a disc. Kipes and Stripes says, haha, if he has to earn them, he won't be leaving them all willy-nilly. True. Kyle says, nice smile, Bradley. Thank you. Doc says, meant for him to be earning them for you. Yes, he does the work. You pocket the money. That's not immoral at all. Tom says, Castoplast Stig, good and understable. West Side Stag is more stable. Thank you for clarifying that. And Doc, good job being right that there is a Stag disc. Remy says, do you remember me? Renee says, do you remember me? Yes, I do. Thanks for hopping on and joining. Doc says, so he did mean Stig. My apologies. No, it's good because both discs exist. So that's fair. Creepy Pig says, Norris Chuck, LOL. Hey, Brad. Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you swinging by. Dude just says, happy to say that I'm a Birdie Time OG. Yeah, Dude just been here a long time. Todd says, your check didn't clear? Oh, no. I thought you accepted the river as a peace offering. I maybe not. Maybe I have to send you more discs. Maybe I need to send you a Sonic. How's that? Sonic, is that good enough for you? Probably not. He probably doesn't even want a Sonic. Doc says, Brad, no one thinks you're cheating on the giveaway. I'm just saying, like, if you do think I'm cheating, you shouldn't. So I'm getting out ahead of the rumors that don't exist yet. Wesley says, it's chill, no worries. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I just like being very upfront about everything because you never know. You never know. Somebody might be, thinking in the back of their head, like, can you fake this? I can't. Jimmy says, nice frisbees. Thank you very much. Got a large stack of discs back here in the collection. Ooh, the Sheriff. This one's a Sheriff, right? Yeah, this one's from the Chanock Open last year. I do think it's a Sheriff. Oh, this one's a Sapphire. I didn't grab the Sheriff. I grabbed the Sapphire instead. But got a lot of disc golf discs in the collection. It's not a giant collection, but it's a decent collection. Sebkoff says a lightweight Sidewinder was first driver get consistent distance with. Yes, it's a fantastic disc. Jimmy says Brad seriously needs to chill. Sorry. Do you work at Taco Bell? No, but I do hear that you get a lot of free and discounted food, so I've been thinking about it for a long time. Yeah, Sidewinder is great. Ugh. It's now my pro signature disc, but Sidewinder was my first driver, my longtime driver. Really, really great. But now it's retired. David Keith says, good luck tomorrow. So I would be playing in the Monday qualifier, but as I was wrapping up my round today, the final round of USDGC Doubles, for the last 5 holes, was having shoulder pain. And when I drove home, even just turning the wheel, I lift my arm, I was just feeling this little bit of discomfort, this little twinges. And Winthrop is such a massive bomber course that I decided that it would be best just to drop out. I didn't want to risk anything. I wanted to make sure that I got my refund, someone could get in off the wait list. I didn't want to lose more discs. And I figured if I kind of hurt myself partway through the round, there wasn't a good way to keep playing. I couldn't just switch to 4 hands like it's Winthrop. There are holes that you literally can't get to because they're so far. And you'll just be throwing OB or throwing into the water. So unfortunately, I elected to, not unfortunately for the circumstances, but unfortunately I'm not playing the Monday qualifier. Sadly. But I wanted to. Ryan says, any tips for my first tourney next month? Yeah. So I would say tips for a tournament, I would say if you can, play the course, get familiar with the layout, pick your disc for each hole. It doesn't have to be set in stone, but you should really kind of, if you want to get the most out of your tournament, try to know what you're throwing on each tee shot and kind of have a sense of, is it a full power shot? Are you hyzering it? Are you anhyzering it? Are you playing for par? Are you playing for birdie? Are you playing for single bogey? I don't know how hard the holes are that you're playing. Make sure you get plenty of water, plenty of snacks for the event itself. Take a pair of extra socks and just go to have some fun. Have a good time with it. A lot of people are just there to have a good time. They like playing tournaments and they like seeing their buddies. So you'll probably have the chance to meet some new people to you that have been playing disc golf for a long time, or other people who just started. And it's a really cool social experience. Get there a little bit early so you have time to warm up so that your body doesn't regret being outside like I've experienced in the past. Make sure that you're able to kind of check in on time, make sure you're at the first hole on time. And then if it is, sorry, did you say it was your first tournament? Yeah, first tourney. Just brush up on the PDJ rules. Make sure that when you're putting inside of the circle that you don't step over your disc as you putt. Make sure you putt and stay with your balance behind your lie. Make sure you understand that you need to have a supporting point in your lie when you're throwing the disc. Just different things like that. Learn a little bit about how out of bounds works in case you do throw out of bounds. And make sure you understand what is expected of you as a person on your card, that you watch the opponent's throws, pay attention to if they go out of bounds, make sure they're following rules, at least for the most part. If you're playing a really casual tournament in MA4, it's often not a massive deal to see a couple of rules get slip through the cracks. And even this weekend, even at USDGC Doubles, I had multiple moments where somebody threw a disc to their teammate or to the other team when they picked up a disc and tossed it. And you actually shouldn't be throwing PDJ sanctioned legal discs in a sanctioned event like this. Like, you shouldn't pick up someone's disc and toss it to them because you're technically having a practice throw. Now it is over 5 meters, so it is like if it's over 16 feet, it's a practice throw. So if you toss it to your buddy who's right next to you, that's different. But I had multiple instances where I saw someone just tossing a disc to their buddy. That's technically illegal. Like, that's breaking a rule. So you don't have to be an absolute like rules Nazi. You don't have to be super, 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 super picky, but make sure that you basically understand the rules and how to play the sport legally. Okay, that was a long explanation. Kyle says, I have to sub, you're adorable. It's the Taco Bell shirt. Thanks. Doc says, JME, it's after his disc golf dream. Toss says, great, now I can never bag a Sonic or people will think I'm a paid shill. That's true. Doc says, I hate when I do that. I didn't run a poll today. I just realized I didn't run a poll. Doc says, Todd, just tell them you're a Sega man. True. Tom says, I don't know if they're going to have any more dimensions for discs in a couple of years with the way they're pushing them out now. They'll just, well, the clever thing that Discmania has done is they just make a new line of discs and they just take the old disc and rename it. So like the Enigma is now the DD1. Yeah, it's the DD2. DD1 or DD2. I can't remember. The Horizon line DD1 or whatever it is just the Enigma. But now they can sell a new disc, but it's the same disc. I like Discmania. But that's crazy, right? They're just renaming discs and selling them like it's new. They're like upfront about it and clear about it, so they're not trying to like totally deceive people, but also people are like, new disc. I think Discraft in particular, but every company is going to figure out ways to just sell discs again. Like they'll keep doing it. New stamps, stuff like that. Brent says, I'm here for real this time. Brent, you did not win. Brent says, I let Bradley down this weekend. Wasn't prepared enough. I appreciate that, Brent. But let's be real. As a doubles team, we didn't do our best. And we did pretty well in some of our practice, but we didn't really practice hard enough courses to prepare ourselves for when player one throws directly out of bounds. How does player two adjust the strategy? And so we just weren't totally prepared for all the situations of Winthrop, the USDGC course, and a really tough course like Camp Canaan. And we just didn't do our best. It's okay. It was still fun. We still had a fun weekend of disc golf together. And that was the main thing. Is Brent and I got to play a bunch of golf together. That was nice. We got everything filmed, bad moments and good moments. So that's going to be great to kind of have that on file for being able to do some editing with that. But yeah, we just wasn't our best. It's not Brent's fault. It was a team effort. Dude just says, going to see if I can get good enough to get on some kind of junior team or a small sponsor by this time next year. Seeing people I feel like I can beat, get a sponsor, so I feel like I could do it. It was interesting playing Am Worlds, ended up in near the top, and like everybody seemed to be sponsored. Like, and we're talking like 17-year-olds and like other people my age and younger, sponsored. And it's like, good night. Like, they got snapped up. I'm out here. Am I just not good enough, but playing up a little bit at their level? Or am I just getting overlooked? You know, that type of thing. Also, I think that some people do settle for pretty, you know, not to be dismissive, but low-level sponsorships where they're getting essentially nothing, but they get to stick the logo on. This is not disparaging at all. That's not the type of sponsorship I'm very interested in. I really want something that's a little bit in between, where I'm, as a creator, selling discs. I'm helping move merchandise and getting some type of reward for it, whether it's monetary or discs for reviews or free tournament entries, you know, whatever it might be. I don't I don't just want a handful of discs a year only to like rep a team constantly on my YouTube channel without, without stopping and have to only throw their discs. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I think I need a better sponsorship agreement that has some benefit to me. Brent says, show me the cart. It's in the car. I left it in the car because of course I did. Dude says, we would love to see the cart. I will show pictures of the cart. Stop saying cart, Doc. Luke says, wait, Brad, you're so old you need a cart. I said for the last 2 years, I said when I hit 30, I'll get a cart. I hit 30, Brent gave me a cart. Thank you everyone who helped to donate to that. I appreciate that. And yes, I have a cart and I am old enough to need it. Doc says, Brent, you did the best with what you had. Thanks, Doc. Thanks. Brent says, let me just say I was not good, maybe the worst I've really played in a long minute. I will say Brent and I both, in the first 2 rounds in particular, had a lot more bad moments than normal, and we were off of our game, period. Today, we both played a lot better and chained out of so many putts. It's unbelievable. But we played so much better. It was really nice to actually throw well, play well, have some good disc golf. Luke says, very old. Yeah. Dude just says, oddly enough, throwing something like a baseball for more than 10 minutes hurts my shoulder more than going 4 rounds back to back. Yeah, and it depends on the day. Like I've gone 3 rounds in a day. I've done 11 rounds in 7 days. Sorry, I've done a bunch of rounds. But it's something about full power, and practicing Winthrop, then Camp Canaan, then competing at Camp Canaan, then Winthrop, then Camp Canaan again. After playing disc golf earlier in the week, it was just too much for the shoulder, I think. I think that's what happened. I don't think I did anything specific to injure it. I think it's just overuse. I think I just need a little bit of rest, or at least to just play easier, shorter courses if I'm going to play tomorrow. Green Hippie says, out of bounds means you play where you went in. Pros do it. Yes, that's true. Is this about prepping for a tournament? How behind in chat am I? Am I way back? Yes, you play from where you went out of bounds. But there are a few other things about it, whether or not there's a drop zone, how to establish your lie. You can take a relief back from. There's just a lot of little things to do with OB. Also, if you land on the line, are you in or out, depending on how the line is? If you're partway in bounds, it's in bounds. But it's kind of, there's just a little bit of nuance to understanding OB. So looking through the rules is important so you understand it. Doc says, if there is a company, keep tagging them in your social media. That's true. That's fair. You should do that. I should do that more. What is this junior? Did he get picked up by Innova? I know a few Innova juniors that got picked up this year. Brent says, I want to give up after this weekend. I wasn't meant for doubles. I mean, Brent is out there scorching 10-30 rated rounds, and then we play doubles, and we both are like, what is disc golf? What is this sport? Brent says, it's my fault. Bradley was perfect. It wasn't his fault. I was far from perfect. But, Brent, it's okay. It's okay, man. Doc says, Brent, you're breaking my heart. Dude says, I'll try to compile some good tournament results and clips and reach out to some teams or disc businesses mid to late next year. Yes, good strategy. Good night. Lots of comments. Brent says, also, Doc, do you want to see what happened to my leg at Winthrop? Put that in the Discord. Brent just has a penchant for injuring himself. Put it that way. Green Hippie says, you can be a full foot back of your mini. I've seen James do it. You can be 11.8 inches back from your mini. It's about the size of a piece of paper. But yeah, you want to make sure that you are not too far back from your mini marker because you can't be multiple feet. It's too far. Doc says, let me Uber you a Panera Bread bowl with soup. Heck yeah. Green Hippie says, you can leave the tee box on a drive. Kevin Jones does it. You can leave the tee box after the disc leaves your hand. You can throw and then step off the tee, but you have to have a supporting point in the lie when the disc leaves your hand. Doc says, I should post the damage to my car in the Discord. Oh, that's what happened. Doc, you had a car accident? Somebody hit your car? I'm so sorry. Dude says, I'm using the Doc lingo from now on. Discord it. Green says, not everything is a foot fault. That's true. Doc says, Isn't that what the youths say? Doc says, guy turned in front of me, but this weekend YouTube really helped me stay cheered up. That's really good. That's really annoying. It's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Yeah, hope it wasn't bad and that insurance covers it. Yeah. Doc says, Brent, we can play and my bad playing will cheer you up. Unless it's late in a tournament or a round, I'm pretty loose with rules. Yeah, the certain levels of tournament are just not as vital to enforce every little thing. But I've even seen some looseness in A tiers, so it's not like everyone is absolutely like every single little thing needs to be immediately penalized. But at a higher level, you should at least be calling things and saying, "Hey, like, you can't do that. You can't do that." Because if people aren't noticing, then they'll keep doing it until it becomes a big problem. Green says, what's the step putt? The front foot is to the ground. That's a gray area. The disc just has to leave the hand before you advance beyond your lie. Doc says, Dude just says, relatable, Doc, but if you deserve the money, his opinion doesn't really matter. Yeah. Dealing with people is no fun, but yes. Brent says, highlight shot of the weekend. The camera will never truly show how incredible my shot on 8 was. So this is crazy. Basically, we're buried in the woods, and all we have is a pitch out. And it's going to be about 290 feet from the basket with a really sharp turn, and almost impossible to reliably count on saving the par from the pitch out. So Brent chucks it through this, like, literally this sized hole, up 50 feet, 40 feet in the air, chucks a forehand up, spikes it over, gets to circle 2, and he hit metal for our birdie run from a terrible position. It was really insane. Par 4, by the way. It was just unbelievable. And yeah, the camera will just not convey that. Green says, you crossed your line of play on step putt, but on a drive on roots, you step back from the mini, it's a foot fault. No. Anything outside of circle 1, as long as the disc leaves your hand while your foot is in the lie or on the tee pad, after that, it doesn't matter. You can step backwards, you can fall over, you can do a cartwheel, you can do a backflip. It doesn't matter. As long as the disc leaves your hand when your foot is in the lie, boom, anything after, doesn't matter. You can step, you can jump, it doesn't matter. But when it's in circle 1, the rules change. That is the putting area as defined by the PDJ rules, and you have to maintain your balance behind the lie. But in all other circumstances, whatever your lie is, the tee pad being a massive lie, or your disc or your mini marker creating a lie about the size of a piece of paper, you need a supporting point in your lie when your disc leaves your hand. That's the same thing for a step putt, because you're stepping, the disc needs to leave your hand before your foot touches the ground or you step out of your lie. Or if you're on the tee pad and you're letting go of the disc and then falling off the tee pad and rolling down a hill. Whatever it is, supporting point in the lie, disc leaves your hand. After that, it doesn't matter. But the rules are different in circle 1. Doc says, wait, Brent, Brad videoed his own shots, but not your amazing shot. Not surprised. No, I videoed it, Doc. It's just the camera can never convey how incredible it is because it's not from... You can't capture all of those angles. You just couldn't. Even with a catch cam, you wouldn't understand how great it was. Like, it's just so good. Yeah, bring out the cart. It's in the car. I'm not going to get it from the car. Logan says, can't be in long, got to get my daughter to bed, but want to say hi and see how you're doing. USDGC doubles went fine. Brent and I did not play great. We lost several discs, and coming out of it, I'm getting a little shoulder pain, so I dropped out of the Monday qualifier for USDGC tomorrow. Unfortunate. But we had fun. We filmed a lot of good shots. Yesterday, I made 4 jump putts, and Brent made a crazy putt underneath a tree from 45 feet. Today, we both chained out of an insane number of putts. So it was like flip-flopping. Yesterday, cashing long putts to save par. Today, chaining out of every birdie putt we had. Just felt like it. You don't have to lug it up the stairs, bring out the cart. It would be up 2 flights of stairs. Meat says your camera quality is immaculate. It is what I use for filming my disc golf rounds. So I do have a nice little... It's a Samsung Galaxy, so it's a nice little camera. The cart is in his car 8 miles away. uphill both ways in the snow. All right, hopefully I am behind on chat. Okay, not too far behind. Let's rush through. Logan says, I'm doing good. A few rounds this week felt great. Oh, it's talking to Doc. Good, good, good. Green says, why on casual rounds of disc golf you got that guy filming others? What? Why on casual rounds of disc golf you got that guy filming others? I don't know what that's saying. Are you saying why would you have somebody film you in a casual round? Like for me, I do it for content because I have a channel. I don't know what you're asking. Tom says just bought an FD2. Shows some support to Casey White. Such a chill dude. I've only thrown the FD1, not FD2. Chatted with him, bought a disc from him at the Des Moines Challenge. That's really cool. I haven't met Casey, but he seems cool. Seems fun. Green says, as a disc golf director, it should be stated at the start nobody uses a phone, but only for UDisc. Like you don't want anything filmed. What? That's silly. In fact, for Pro Tour events, they want you using your phone. They don't want professional camera. They don't want you live streaming, but they want you posting stuff on social media because tournament directors want coverage of their events to get out there. They want moments captured. They want viral moments. They want more hype for disc golf. So I don't think that there's any purpose to a tournament director saying no filming people because any coverage is good coverage. Like just getting more eyes on disc golf in general is a good thing. And for people like me, of course, I would love to be able to have a friend or a caddy of mine film my shots in tournament because it's one thing to post my birdies of the day and be like, I birdied this hole. Yay, thumbs up, good for me. But when I do it in a tournament, I'm demonstrating that I'm capable, not only of doing this occasionally in some type of practice round, but I'm capable of doing it on the first try for a birdie in a sanctioned event, and I'm not totally inept and just throwing 50 shots and picking my best one. So there's a lot of value in filming casual and tournament events. So I don't understand where you're coming from on that, I guess. Are people filming you and you feel uncomfortable? Because I can see that. I could see that from your point of view, for sure. Sebkoff, are you allowed to stand OB when you throw? No, you're not. You have to be in bounds, which is why you get a meter of relief from OB. If you get right up against OB, it's straight away from OB. If you go out of bounds, you can pick if you want to take relief toward the basket or away at an angle, but you can't stand OB when you throw. So you have to establish a lie that is in bounds. You can throw from a hazard because that you're supposed to take your lie from a hazard. Good clarification there. Goodness. Logan says, glad to hear you're fine. Yeah, definitely not an injury for my shoulder, but had a good time. Not our best. Dude says, don't know why paper scorecards are still an option when PDJ Live exists. The ladder is so much easier. It doesn't have a big barrier to entry. Yes, but you just need that situation for somebody who left their phone at home or a 14-year-old who doesn't have a phone. It needs to be an option, but it needs to be rare because everything should be recorded in PDJ Live so that we know what scores are for every card. So if a card of 4 has 0 phones, that's a problem. But if 1 or 2 people per event don't have a phone, that shouldn't be a big deal because they should be able to match up with their card, no problem, and get scores submitted. And it's easy to have 1 or 2 scorecards to review. But yes, Doc says, I like the paper cards. Hush. Tom says, this was last year, Doc. Couldn't make it this year. Still have to watch it. Luke was really cool to talk to as well at the preserve. Luke Humphreys, I'm guessing. Yeah, they're cool guys. Dude says, that's just the old head in you speaking. You'll realize PDJ Live is the way. Green says, keep disc golfing. Yes. It's just imperfect. I had one instance where PDJ Live just wouldn't work. My connection wouldn't work. And I had to get a paper scorecard, but then by hole 2 it started working, so I switched back. But like if it never worked, like I would have had to record on paper because it just wasn't working. Jack says, what do you guys think of the new iBlend Wraith, or will people just break in Star Plastic? That's a good question. I like iBlend Plastic a lot. I bag a Dynasty in iBlend. Not sure about the Wraith. Not sure. Is that the same iBlend? Because it's Infinite Dynasty, not Innova. Maybe I'm talking without knowledge. Okay. Green says, I knew it, bro. I've been called out on foot faults on my approach. I drive, then step forward after disc left my hand. Yeah, my advice is to just read that rule about your throw and being able to step after. It's like 80. It's like 80. Okay, you're gonna sound like I'm stupid. It's like 802.07 in the rules should be about the putting area, and then right nearby, like 802.01 or 02 should be about establishing your lie and throwing from it. So you should be able to directly say to someone, "That's not a foot fault. That's only inside of the putting area. This is not the putting area, so that rule doesn't apply." So you should be able to say, having to maintain balance behind your lie is only for within 32.8 feet of the basket or 10 meters from the basket. All other areas have a different rule. So that person is misquoting, misapplying PDJ rules. And I would be shocked if they and someone else on the card both know so little that they try to call foothold on that. Honestly, though, I haven't played outside of MA1 in a long time, so I haven't had the experience of somebody trying to call things on me for no reason. It's usually lower level players who are misapplying rules like that, but I still get things wrong on my level. I just make sure I never penalize someone for something that I'm not certain about. Logan says, my buddy did a practice round at Ledgestone with Kyle Klein. I got to meet him and play with him. So cool on a whole other level. Kyle Klein is one of the cool, chill guys. I worked in Spring Lake, Michigan, where he grew up, and I didn't end up working so I was a youth pastor, and I volunteered with some local ministries like Young Life, and we took donuts to a couple of local high schools. I didn't end up going to his high school, but he was like a few miles away. At the same time that he was like about to graduate, and then he went pro like right away. So that would have been really cool. I just feel like I barely missed him, but he just seems like a cool guy. Tom says, I like it when just one person has to keep score. I can see the issue with cheating, but it's annoying to have to pull out your phone every tee or putt. I usually keep my phone away when I play. I have the opposite problem. I'm always texting people, so I always have my phone out anyway. But yes, I get it. Is unfortunate. It is the reality of the situation. Is it has to be on live from someone. They are concerned about cheating or mistakes because they do happen, and sometimes a person keeping score just sucks at it. So it's good to have multiples because when that conflict pops up, and I've had it where I trust everybody on my card, they're all smart people, but we have a scoring conflict and we figure it out in real time instead of at the end when they're like, oh, did we just play hole 18? I'm on hole 16. And it's like, oh no. So there's a lot of benefits to it, but it's not perfect. It's just not perfect. Green Hippie says, I wish I had you on my comps in Illinois. Illinois would be great, except for the wind and cold. But yeah, I've played in Illinois, just like 2 courses. But yes, unfortunately, not everybody knows the rules, so keep familiarizing yourself with them, and you'll be able to respond when somebody tries to call you for something and say, hey, that rule doesn't apply. Like, that's not how you play out of bounds. That's only applies in the putting area, which is circle 1, and help educate and respond to them. Also, recognize that you always have the ability to call provisional. If somebody tries to say, hey, you can't throw from there, you can call provisional, throw from where you know you're supposed to play from or how you're supposed to play from, and then play it out both ways from where they tell you to play. And if it's something like a foot fault or like like a penalty stroke of some kind, you can always bring that to the TD afterward and present your case, explain the situation, and make sure they understand if you actually deserve that penalty stroke or not. In certain cases, the card just gets to call it, but in other cases, if they're wrong about a rule, the TD can clarify that. So always keep that in mind and make sure that you kind of take things to the higher ups when you have the chance. Okay. All of Brent's shots are golden and they're going to keep going up. I wish. Logan says, sorry you had to drop out. It's unfortunate because it was a goal for the year to play in a Monday qualifier, but I was signed up for it. I would play if I was 100% healthy. I feel like I still checked off my goal, even though I'm not doing it. I did play Winthrop yesterday, so I do feel like I'm not missing out, but also I'm missing out. Jack says, Doc, just wondering what people think. Seems like it'll become a roller, but not sure. I never use iBlend. I'm sure eventually it would. Dash the Blaze says, what was your previous major? My previous major was Am Worlds. Got to play at Harmony Benz, Miller, and the Dam course in Jefferson City and Columbia, Missouri. And that was just in August. So I played Am Worlds, ended up taking 15th place. But highlight of the week was tying for first place, hot round of round 1. And then triple bogeying on coverage. Brent says, bag swap with Blaze coming soon. Bag swap with Blaze needs to come soon. I have it filmed, and I'm just so behind on editing right now. But yes. Sweet Brent, Blaze will need a cart soon to swap with Brad. Blaze has a cart. What are you talking about? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, Blaze does have a cart already, so it's already better. Tom says, iBlend is all right. It just feels like new Gummy Star. Only thrown a few times, but it is a Wraith. We'll have to wait and see. Sebkov says, based. Jack Bing, definitely will probably keep my eye out for used Star Plastic and molds I like for backup. That is good. Tom says, FYI, FD2 is the FD1. They did just reorganize their lineup now. New FD1s are in the Instinct mold right now. Oh, okay. Good to know. Jeff says, yo. Dylan says, hey. Thanks for hopping on, guys. Nice Taco Bell shirt. Did you eat Taco Bell today? I almost did. In fact, I was very close to eating Taco Bell today. I was actually talked out of it. But I was going to get some after my round. Unfortunately, I have enchiladas at home because I made enchiladas this week. So I was advised to not spend money on Taco Bell, but rather come home and eat the food I already had. I know, responsible and lame. But I was thinking about Taco Bell today. It was very close. Jeff says, what's something I can do to stop leaning back in my throws? Weight shift is very important. You can start with standstills, just kind of shifting your weight, trying to get that like rhythm, and then kind of try to introduce that into your run-ups so that when you are planting your foot and throwing, you are leaning into the shot and getting your momentum into the throw. So that might be how you kind of start, is make sure you do some standstills where you shift your weight back, engage your hips, and throw, so that you kind of get that motion, that body mechanic momentum, putting that together with standstill throws. That might help. Also, foot placement is so important. If your feet are really kind of just, laissez-faire wherever you decide to kind of put them at the last second, that can really affect your balance. So make sure that your foot placement is good. Joel Freeman has a really great video about throwing over 400 feet, but the info is relevant for everybody, no matter your level, about creating space between your plant feet so that you have better body mechanics. I think that will also help your balance. So maybe those things will help. Doc says, Jack, maybe keep a lookout at Discount Discs. It's infinite, but a different site, and they don't show pictures of the discs. Good point. Motivate and Minister says, enjoy watching your videos and hearing those chains rattle after you hunt for those birdies. Thank you. Always hunting for those birdies. I really appreciate the support. Yes, the chains hopefully rattling every day for all of us, whenever we can get out. Dylan says, are you volunteered at Young Life? I used to go to one when I was a kid. I was a Young Life volunteer when I was in Michigan. That was a couple of years ago now. But yes, I actually went to Young Life Camp as one of the leaders there, and that was really cool. Blaze, thank you. Donated the 5. Shout out Blaze, what a legend. Blaze says, putting is better than distance. Take it from someone with 500 feet of power and 0 putting potential. Yes, there is something there for Blaze. It's true. And obviously there's a limit. Like at Winthrop, you need distance if you want to score. But at a lot of local disc golf courses, if you have the putting and you're not so good at the distance, that can still be a huge benefit. You can still compete. At Am Worlds, I didn't have the distance, but I did have the putting going on, and it worked out. It helped me stay near the top. Um, yes, Dylan, Young Life is fantastic. I was just affiliated for a couple of years and just kind of went to local events and then took donuts to the schools to kind of get to know the kids, the teens, and then went to the camp. But I was a youth pastor at the time. So we hosted Young Life a few times at our church, which was a really cool way to kind of have that overlap. But I also had my own busyness and duties. So I taught a few times, but was just it wasn't an employee of Young Life, but it was just kind of a volunteer affiliated. And had a great time. I think a lot of the teens really enjoyed it. It's a regular social experience where they can see their friends and have fun. So that was a great experience for everybody. Doc says if I told Dugit most times okay if I told Dugit most times I don't even have data on my phone, would it just blow his mind? Yeah, probably. If you tell him that your flip phone doesn't have Wi-Fi, then although some flip phones have Wi-Fi now, it's nice. Doc says at Brent, maybe he won't show the cart because he has like 5 discs in the top side pockets and main pocket is just full of Taco Bell. True. Jeff says, did you do the giveaway yet? Yes, I ran the giveaway. All 5 discs given away to different people. So the giveaway has been run, but more discs in the future will be given away. So stay tuned. I don't know if I'll do 8,000 or what, but we'll find some sort of milestone or benchmark, or maybe I'll win a tournament or the first time I cash. I don't know. We'll do something fun. And yeah, it should be right about the 30-minute mark because I started the stream about a minute late and I started the giveaway around 7:33. Yeah, it was a Jimmy, I think, not a Jeff that won. Dylan says, how does your stomach handle eating so much Taco Bell? So I actually don't eat that much Taco Bell. Like probably twice a month is my upper end of Taco Bell. But stuff like Am Worlds, when I'm traveling 13 hours, I'll eat Taco Bell once or twice on the way there, and then on the way back, I'll get Taco Bell again. That's a little bit of a different circumstance. So like big road trips, I'll get Taco Bell. But as far as just like going out to eat Taco Bell, I don't do that. I make dinners for a week and I have my own food. I make a giant thing of soup, or I make enchiladas that'll last me for 6 days. And I very much am a make food for the week and eat the same thing every night for dinner, and then the next week make something different. But I do like to get out to Taco Bell every once in a while. And like I said, on trips or a special occasion like a birthday, Taco Bell is happening. Absolutely. However, I am lactose intolerant, and sometimes stomach doesn't handle things well. Justin says, totally forgot it was Sunday. What's up? Just hanging out. Had a fun weekend of USDGC doubles. Didn't play great, but it's all done now. Also, Justin, I didn't get my spectator pass for USDGC this weekend, so I'm hoping that it's going to be fine, that I can get in and get a player's pack, but I might just give the disc to a buddy and have him get signatures. We'll get it worked out. Rio says, how do you practice timing the throw? I would say getting your body mechanics and the throw timing put together is just a matter of that practice. You get the in, make sure that you're following through, and honestly, you'll start noticing that if your feet are in the right position, you'll start noticing that you're way early or way late, and you'll start feeling natural when you actually release on time and actually hit your line. So yeah, I would say it's just a matter of setting yourself up for success and then practicing. Tammy says, are you playing in the USDGC qualifier? I actually just dropped out of it a couple of hours ago, wrapping up USDGC doubles today after 6 straight days of practicing and competing at Winthrop and Camp Canaan. Getting through the end of my round today, I started getting some shoulder pain. And even now, I'm getting just a little discomfort every once in a while when I kind of move my arm around. It's not really a lot of pain, but it was enough for me to say, playing tomorrow at Winthrop with just a distance shot on almost every single tee just isn't worth the risk. And since I withdrew, I got my refund and somebody else got in. I wanted to do that as early as I could so that the next person on the wait list knows that they're competing tomorrow and can prepare themselves. So I didn't want to wait until like tomorrow morning or something like that. So unfortunately, I am not playing in the qualifier. I am a little bummed about it, but I'd rather be healthy. I don't want to miss out on disc golf for a week just to get half of a qualifier in or something like that. And I also lost a bunch of discs at Winthrop already, so I know that I'm not going to lose more. Blaze says, I'm sorry, Doc, I don't understand. That is a common experience for us all. Doc says, Blaze, what's your disc to always take out when doing a bag swap? I don't even know what that means. Nacho fries are the bomb with nacho cheese. Nacho fries are so good, and they don't always sell them, which is ridiculous. They should always sell them. It should be a Taco Bell staple, but it's somehow seasonal or temporary sometimes. It drives me insane. They need Nacho Bell Grande, but with those fries. Yes, they do. Doc says, when you do a bag swap, is there a disc you remove? Because it's Brad. We don't cheat. I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, we fully switched everything. Removed the disc that was brand new, that hadn't made the bag. Yeah, that's true. That's fair. Dylan says, had a good day of disc golf. Someone found my buzz that I lost the other day, hit a personal course best, and threw a new distance record of 360. Heck yeah, man. That's a fantastic disc golf day. I wish I had an equally good disc golf day, but that's okay. I'm really happy for you. That's awesome. I wish I got my hurricane back. Doc says, you are a brave man. Oh, you're saying like if I would lose it? I mean, it was Hornet's Nest. There was only one hole we could lose a disc on, realistically speaking. Max says hi. Thanks for hopping on, Max. Dude just says, scroll back up, and yes, that would blow my mind. Yes. Doc's data. 24/7 data. I only have 5 gigs for a month, but I think I've run out maybe twice in the last year and a half. I've run out of my 5 months of data for the 5 gigs of data for the month. And I believe both times was navigating and streaming music while driving across the country that destroyed my data for the month. So I've started downloading all my songs, and it's been better. Just don't use internet on my phone if I'm not at work at home, so don't need it. Blaze struggled with Brad's bag. So many flippy disks, and a flippy disk you don't bag can be dangerous. Very true. Also a fun roller. I can't wait to edit that. Justin says, Brad, my round was so bad I almost wanted to quit disc golf forever. That's what Brent was saying about this weekend. Yeah, I had a round like that on my birthday weekend. Too much caffeine. Dylan says, do you have any personal indicators on how you throw and putt consistently? If you're looking for advice or what just works for me, I would say for me, throwing consistently is all about foot placement. I had a great lesson with Johnny McRae and consulted that Joel Freeman video that I mention every once in a while. I think Joel Freeman's video is called Still Can't Throw Over 400 Feet, Try This, something like that. But it's all about foot placement on the tee, basically not lining your feet up exactly how you want to throw with your back foot, front foot, but stancing out so that as you plant, look at how Simon Lizotte does it. He really overemphasizes it. As you run up, you're not just planting your right foot straight ahead, you're angling it toward the upper left corner of the tee, creating space between your feet, and that lets you open up your body for throwing, and it also narrows your window of bad throws. So my worst throw is usually anhyzered or hyzered and off by only so many degrees. For putting, it's all about just figuring out my style and then sticking with it and practicing it consistently. And the last 2 months, my putting has been much better because I've gotten more putting sessions in, and it's been huge for consistent putting and accuracy. Having extra spare putters to practice with. It also helps me to have like a tiny little quick mental checklist of making sure my feet feel set, make sure the disc feels good in my hand, ignore all distractions, audible or visual, pick a chain, and execute. Like, just, you don't need to wait around waiting for the exact right moment to putt. Feel right, putt like you do in practice because you've done it thousands and thousands of times, hopefully, at that point. Eventually. Tammy says, makes sense. Yep, unfortunate to do it, but it's just healthy, smart to drop out now, and I don't regret it, but I do wish I could play. Doc says, Dujit, how's the disc golf game going? Dujit tied for first and had a 7 out of 10 round today, so pretty good. There you go. Justin also hurt his shoulder on Saturday during the tournament. Dang, dude. We got to stop hurting ourselves. We're getting old. I say to a junior player. Doc says we're going to have to change the name of the room to Sore Shoulders Disc Golf. We need that in the Discord. Max says, do you recommend a stable distance driver? Because everyone I've tried is too understable or overstable. If you just want stable, yeah, it just depends. How far do you throw? And do you throw flat or Anheuser or Hyzer? Dude just says, old geezer's weak shoulder club. Yeah, we need that in Discord. Brent says, Renski wasn't that bad. It was like 870 rated. It was bad. Juju says, bag of trail. It's really popular. Yes, trail was on my mind as well. Max says, lost my trail. Haven't replaced it yet. Was the trail too flippy? Because some people who say discs are too understable, they're like, the trail turns too much. It's too flippy. It was great for me. I love the trail. Brent says Drensky was good for him. Mr. 1030 rated. Dujit got a Cadence Burge Paradigm, and it's pretty good. Paradigm 14 speed. That's pretty nice. I just lost a dyed Paradigm, which makes me very sad. Doc says, I look at a flight chart for disc golf, figure out a disc that's maybe slightly over or understable, then move one space away, find a disc, and try another. I mean, that can help, but honestly, I like to base it off of how you like your distances and discs that you find too flippy or too stable, and jump from there, because charts can be inaccurate. Like I've gone on charts and gone, like, let's just put it this way. I've gone from stability category across the board for turn and fade, and for me, discs fly in swapped out of order ways because I have a different plastic, or I have, I throw a certain way, or whatever. Doc says, Dude, that girl has an arm. Cadence, she has 2 arms. Oh, yeah, she throws far. Sam says, love the shirt. Thank you. It's a fun one. I have worn it to Taco Bell. I did not get free food. Dujit says, from my experience, flight charts only give you half the info of a disc. The rest you got to figure out yourself. Very true. Everyone does throw different. Cat says, show us your cat. There are no cats here. Justin says, 870. LOL, look at my plus 13 round 850. I'm sorry, man. We understand. Dylan says, those are good points. I've been imagining I'm backhanding someone that is in the corner of the tee pad. All right. Interesting thought strategy. I see the appeal. Doc says, yeah, you lost it. That's where Dujit got it. Lost. All right. I don't know what that meant. Dujit says, worst ever rated round was 820, and it was horrendous. Yeah, I think actually my worst rated round was in the 820s. It might have been 840 because I didn't play tournaments right away. Blaze says, there's a new hype feature for YouTube. You only get X amount every week, so make sure you use them on Brad's videos. Oh, cool. Shout out from Blaze, the hype feature. I saw that existed, and I went to try to test it out, and it's like, you can't hype your own videos. And I was like, well, okay, duh. I should know that. But yeah, somebody test out the hype feature on one of my videos, because I do want to see what it does. I have no idea what it is. I don't know if the hype helps boost viewership or how it works. I have no idea. So yeah, shout out the hype. I don't know. Doc says, I thought I hyped one. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, maybe you did, and I don't see the metrics for it. But somebody hype a video and comment that you hyped it, and I'll be able to see that and work with that. Do my research and see what happened. Justin says, see y'all later. Mom's going to get mad if I stay up longer. Okay, good night. School night, get that sleep in. Finish up your homework. Flight charts are like flight numbers, not perfect, but a jumping off spot. Yes. Dude says, weirdly for my tourney, I discovered if you just think that your form is like a certain pro, you keep it in mind and end up throwing closer to their form. There you go. Interesting. Brent says, how do I hype? I believe it is like next to the comments. Like you go down to the comments and you like swipe over sideways, kind of like uh, I don't even know how to describe it, but yeah, just look through the like comment section description area and see if there's anything that has like multiple dots that you can like swipe over or click on the next one and see if you can hype a video. I don't know. Maga Fury says no, you can't. You can't hype your own videos, or you can't hype, or what? Dude just says like I just kept watching videos of Ganon's throws and acted as though I was him, and it worked. Felt closer to his form. There can definitely be something there where you're familiar with it and you kind of have that sense of what your body's supposed to do and can emulate it a little bit better. Can definitely, especially for some people, work well. Doc says Google says has to be on the app. Okay, thank you. So it must be that it has to be on the YouTube app on your phone, which Doc doesn't use the internet on his phone, so fair enough. Dude just says the other MJ18 I was with ended up being pretty cool to play with. That's good. That's always nice. Because, yeah, you can never guarantee that one of the few videos you're with, sorry, I just read the word video. One of the few people that you're competing with is a cool person. Can never guarantee that. Another perk of doing tourneys. That's true. Blaze says when you click on a video of his, then where it says it has the save share area, scroll to the right, you will see the hype button. What it does is tells the algorithm it's a good video and pushes it out. Okay, there you go. Dylan says, do you think you can estimate how many discs you've lost? This hobby has been getting a little expensive for me lately. Yes, I lost 7 discs, 2 USDGC doubles, including practice. I lost 5 discs at Toboggan at US AMS, and I lost my Project Grip Brave at Am Worlds. So that's math. 12, 13 discs. And then I can think of 2 other discs I lost this year, and I've probably sprinkled in another couple. So I have played a new level of difficulty of courses, but I've probably lost 15 discs this year. Last year, I feel like I lost like 5. So I feel like I jumped up. Oh yeah, I threw some in the water. I've lost too many. Thankfully, I tend not to throw discs I love in risky shots, and I haven't really lost a whole lot of important discs to the bag, but I have lost a few. Sam says, are you still doing the giveaway 5 discs for 7,000? Congrats, by the way. Yes, I ran the giveaway at 7:30, so just over an hour ago. I ran the giveaway at 7:30 EST or EDT, and so we do have that. You can check about 30 minutes into the stream, maybe 34 minutes into the stream, and you can see the giveaway. I ran it, and I don't think that you ended up winning. I didn't actually really recognize the names of any of the winners. It seems like because we got a bunch of new subscribers from the videos, which is great, that some of those won. Some of those newer people were the winners. Dude just says you just got to scroll through the buttons under the comments until you find hype, and it adds points to the video and helps it get recommended. I did it for the Brent Brad Perfect Doubles round video. Perfect. I'll keep an eye on that one, and maybe we'll see what happens there. Also, I put it in the car. Shout out Benny. I got a text out of the blue, and a guy was like, hey, I found your disc at Toboggan. And this is last week. And he found my TD that Blaze gave me, which Blaze, I was heartbroken when I lost that TD because you gave that. I was so sad. He found it, he shipped it to me, and didn't charge me at all. He just said, it's cheap just to mail it, so I'll just send it to you. And I was like, oh, he had no idea who I was. He didn't, he wasn't trying to like get on stream or anything like that. He was just returning a disc to a fellow disc golfer. So shout out Benny for being an absolute legend. And we should all be like Benny. Even if we say, yeah, give me $5 and I'll send it to you. That's great too, because I fully expected to just send $8 over to cover the shipping. But he was like, no worries, and send it for free. So what a legend, Benny, for finding my disc at Toboggan. And after I was like, dude, I'm in North Carolina, just sent it to me. So what an awesome guy. Shout out Benny. Let me see. I set it at 8:42. So yeah, I'll let him know. I'll text him and tell him I gave him a quick little shout out. So yeah, what a legend. Dylan says, lost a lot of discs lately, and my disc golf bag was feeling pretty light. Yeah. Dylan says, should I click the don't recommend this channel? JK. Please don't. I don't need that. No, that's funny. Dude just says, on that note, I'm at an all-time high of discs owned. I know Doc would be proud. There you go. Dylan says, man, that's so cool if you found someone that did that. I had someone reach out after finding my AVR asking to keep it. Yeah, it's kind of a tough thing. And I had a guy, I'm still grateful that he sent it to me, but he sent me my Respectee, and he told me it was like $20 for shipping, and the packaging had a price label of like $7 for shipping. So I got my disc back. I paid the guy for his troubles. I don't have any problem with that. But he lied to me about how much it cost, and I gave him like 22 or something. I gave him a few extra dollars. So yeah, I overpaid that guy. But it's fine. Got my disc back. Doc says, I hyped you 3 times on the perfect doubles round video. Okay, perfect. Anyone else? That's the video to test out this feature of hyping, to test it out on that doubles round video. We'll try to see if that changes anything. I'd love to see some type of metric because of that. Be very, very cool. But thank you guys for helping me test out this feature. I really appreciate it. Dude says, if anyone has a chance to try it, give the Innova Invader. Is it Innova? Maybe it's Westside. Great disc, and you'll love it if you love flat plates. There you go, the Invader. But I think it flies well. 2201? 2201? What? I feel like I might like that, because throwing putters always feels kind of weird. That's why I love the Zone SS, by the way. It's a throwing putter that feels like a mid. It's a little fast, but still flies great. Toxis Duja, I'm always proud of you. Yeah, that's really, really cool. That's awesome. All right, I've got a few more minutes in me, but I'm running out of steam after the long and busy weekend competition, prep, discs lost, not playing well, etc. It's been a little bit of a journey in the last few days, and so my energy is a little bit low. So I've got, I don't know, maybe 10 more minutes. Doc says 4:30 a.m. comes early. That's part of the definition of 4:30 a.m. is that it's early. It's early morning. It's true. Dylan says, man, that's unfortunate. I told him yes because I feel like I didn't have much of a choice. Yeah, it's hard. Like, obviously, if it's a disc you just absolutely love, I would advocate and be like, can I please have it? I'll pay you for it. But yeah, it's definitely a tough one of being like, they're asking for it, and you know they don't want to send it to you, to try to pressure them to be like, yeah, return my disc. But yeah, that's tough. Dude just says, can we see the orange and white buzzsaw on the shelf? I feel like I've seen it before, but I love that color combo. Always love it. Yeah, let's see. Oh, that one's, it's reversed. Boom, buzzsaw. Yeah, this one is kind of see-through, so Doc loves that. But this one is the Charlotte Amateur Championship from one of the discs from the Players Pack. It's a nice coloration. I like it. But it's a disc that I don't know if I've even thrown the buzzsaw yet. It's kind of sad. I get so many discs that I just can't throw everything. Like, I don't throw everything. And I'm prepping for so many events. Like, I'm looking at a stack of discs that I put 2.5 weeks ago. I put on my floor to throw. And I threw the top 3 in 18 days. Always love it when us young people can show up some of the oldies at tournaments. Yes, it's pretty cool. And I'll say it's nice to see young people with good attitudes playing well. None of us like to see arrogant teenagers who think because they're better at disc golf, they're better humans. Nobody likes to see that. But I have met some just genuinely wonderful teen disc golfers who are better than me, and watching them play and seeing their humility, and it's just inspiring to see that. And so shout out to anybody, Vaughn, Holt, Dujet, I hope, that are like talented young players and just not jerks about it, because nobody likes to see that. Nobody likes to see like that. That's one of the main criticisms that Gannon actually gets, and I don't think Gannon's that bad. I don't think that he's that arrogant. But when you come across as that kind of condescending or arrogant as a young person, it really, really like rubs people the wrong way. So keep that humility. Understand that your talent is amazing, but that it's important to recognize that you're not like a better human being than other people. Not saying anything about you specifically, Dujet, of course, but yes, the attitude is so important. And some adults also, and I think that's what Dujet is saying, really awful. That's awful. I've had some pretty horrible people that I've played with. It's been a while since I've been in MA1. I haven't had, I don't want to put it that way, sounds classist, but I haven't had as many like low talent, low character encounters. But even at some of the high levels, there are some rage monsters. Dylan says it was a used AVR, so wasn't too worried. It's fair. I found a warden and wanted to try and threw it in a tree before being able to return it. Ouch. Dude just says disc trade for the buzzsaw. Maybe. I think that buzzsaw, probably. So reach out to me on Discord or something like that. We'd probably work something out. Buzzsaws look so cool. Want to get a buzzsaw on the new Halloween ones they have. That's true. Kyle says so true. Dude just says can relate to that about the attitude. Also about the adults, it's really rare, but the worst rounds are the ones with the jerky adults that take it too serious when they're in MA3. Yeah, and it definitely goes both ways. And adults have more responsibility than teenagers. So that's totally true. That's totally fair. They have more responsibility to treat other people well and to treat young people well. So that's definitely not always happening. And actually, have an unfortunate, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I've reported someone for the way that he talked to teenagers and about teenagers because it was vile. Like it was crossing too many lines. Yeah. He wasn't MA2 though, so. Anyway, Dylan says, I think disc golf has been the friendliest community I've been around, and that's fair. The disc golf pro scene does need a villain to make it more entertaining. Gannon has set himself up there because he's so talented. And when people do beat him, it's like they took down Gannon because he's in second place every time. It's crazy. But yeah, it is such a good community, and it's rare to get the bad apples, but they're out there. But for the most part, it's been so cool to, especially this year, run into somebody at US Amateurs, and then they run into me at Am Worlds, and they're like, Brad, you're playing so well. It's awesome to see you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we played together at US Amateurs when I took 123rd place out of 146. And it's like, it's just kind of cool to see those connections and recognizing somebody I ran into yesterday was like, oh, we played at Am Worlds. And I was like, yeah, it's good to see you. It's just, it's very cool. People I would have never met in my life. Anyway. Brinson says the low talent, high character are my favorite card mates. Like, yeah, dude, rip that Thumber 250 over the top. That's great. That's great. Doc says the best thing about MA40, no kids, LOL. Doc. Yeah, the age restricted categories. Well, that's the downside for you though, is that you will be the category when you only have 3 or 6 or 7 players or something that you have a card of MA40 and junior players. They will jam you in together because they don't care about you enough. Love playing with the guys that are just there for a good time. My favorite is like I would say like low MA2 players who are just there to have a good time, but they're decent. So they hit that highlight putt and we can all be really hyped for them and they're like capable, but when they hit a 50-footer, it's like, heck yeah, I hit a big putt in tournament and it's just fun to see. and then they get some nice birdies. They make some mistakes and don't score well, but that's kind of my favorite like card mate to like experience a disc golf round, a disc golf tournament round with, because they're competent, but they're also just not at that like competitive level where they're just trying to dominate everybody. It's a good time. Kyle says, "Where are you from? I am in New York. I am in North Carolina. So, and NY to NC, but yeah, they're Charlotte, North Carolina, where I am. I would say probably for the square mileage of the city, best disc golf in the country. We don't have the best courses, but the amount of good courses that we have is kind of mind blowing, and you can play a new good course every day for like 3 weeks. It's crazy. So Charlotte is awesome. But yeah, haven't been to New York. Steven's from New York. Plays on Long Island sometimes. Dylan says there's no excuse after your brain is fully developed. Yes. And you have responsibilities no matter your age, but it absolutely increases with age. And once you're an adult, you're an adult. You should act like it. Dude just says Gannon isn't a villain. If you watch the vlogs, he'll become your favorite pro. I would say villain in the sense of the guy you kind of, I shouldn't say this, broadly speaking, that a lot of the community wants to root against because he's so good. And so not a villain in an actual personality sense necessarily, but a villain in the like in the way that Paul Macbeth was 3 years ago, where I was just like, Paul's winning everything. I want to see Kyle Klein beat him. So that's the sense of which I meant as a villain. He is funny. He's a good guy. It's kind of a similar thing with Calvin, where they compete at a certain way, and then you see them not off camera, but off the tournament course on camera, and they're just fun. They're just really funny. Angela says, favorite disc. Brave is probably my favorite disc. Maybe the Echo. Top discs. Princeton says, and then nothing else. Good vibe cards are a breath of fresh air. Jamie says, what do you think of the MVP signal? The MVP signal? I'm not sure what the signal is. I'm going to look that up. MVP signal flight numbers. 65 -31. Okay, 65 -31. I'm trying to remember if I've thrown the signal. I like the idea of it. I like a faster mid/slow fairway with a lot of understability. I think it's great for new players, and it's not like pushing up into the distance driver category. So I would say for anyone throwing less than 350, it's probably a great upshot disc or finesse turnover disc. For anyone who throws not more than like 200, 250, it's probably one of your max distance discs, because you're going to let that turn out of it, will drift back at the end. It's going to be a really nice flight. So great disc. Great disc. Dylan says, I feel like the most toxic I've met were people I didn't play disc golf and think that it's a dumb sport. The amount, I'll say this, golf is great. I don't like golf. I don't care. There are a lot of people who love golf. Great. The amount of hate that I get on the YouTube channel, and I say hate not very strongly, from golf, I don't even know what you want, like, just to call them, but people who just hate disc golf because disc golf uses the rules of golf. They hate it. They don't want us using the word putt. They don't want us using the word driver. They think they invented fairways. They think that they are the source of all sports terms that they use, which is ridiculous. The term putt comes from Scottish rock throwing, because you're throwing a putt over a shorter distance for accuracy, or at least not that far, which is why a putt is called what it is. And actually, throwing a disc in the air is closer than tapping a ball and rolling it. Anyway, regardless, the amount of condescending golfers who just hate that disc golf exists because it's ripping off, it's a slap in the face, it's an insult to the prestigious sport of golf, is just mind-blowing. And I get so many comments from people who just hate disc golf and are like brain dead things like, just admit that you're terrible at golf and you have to play this instead. And I'm like, it's a completely different sport. I'm not swinging anything. I'm throwing discs. Like, it's totally different. It's mind blowing. It's silly, and it's just on repeat. So I would say the most toxic people in my sphere are golfers who hate disc golf. But you play disc golf a few times, you fall in love. James says, have you ever played in Alabama? No. Played in Georgia, Tennessee. No Alabama yet. Not yet. Dylan says that's. Oh, Doc says, now I need a YouTube short of Gannon singing from Hamilton. Now I'm the villain of your story. Okay, I can't. I'm not keeping up. Joseph, have you tried any Climo discs? I tried the Skyway, Bel Air, and the Champ. I gave actually my Champ away to a buddy who's been putting with it and liking it. I still have the Bel Air. Nope. The Bel Air here and the Skyway as well. I liked them. I did a quick little course disc review on the course where I played around with all three and gave my thoughts afterward. So if you feel like watching that video, shout out to myself. It's just a Climo discs review, something like that. And I used just the 3 discs and actually putted well with the Champ. And through the Skyway well, the Bel Air felt not like a 0-2, felt like a 0-0 to me, versus my Taco, which is a 0-2 and very overstable. But I like them. I like them. I would say I love, but I like them. Haven't thrown any of the other ones. I think there's one new one. Haven't thrown it. Juju says, I get that. Second favorite pro is Sullivan Tipton. Juju says, I don't get that reference, but I assume it's funny, Doc. It's about right. Every time Doc says something. Sullivan Tipton is great. He's one of my favorites. Calvin and Isaac are way up there, and Sullivan Tipton is very, very close to the top as well. And since I've been able to kind of meet him personally, really appreciate his personality and his talent. So cool. Very, 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 very humble guy. Really love his attitude. Him and Isaac. Doc was in a disc golf club that was like low-key vibes, but a guy played with us and just went off on my card for being slow, and we were, but it was the same guy who brought his kid to play sometimes. Okay, so one of the slow guys. Joseph dropping the $4.99. Thank you very much, Joseph. Really appreciate it. This is right on. I will find it. So the Climo Discs review video. I hope it's fun. I actually had a great time filming it and kind of just gave some thoughts about the discs, and hopefully it gives you a little bit of insight. But yeah, thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate it. What a legend. Have you tried the Champion Beast? It's been my new favorite disc. Might be too high of a power number for me. Yes, I have. It's more stable than I always more stable than I expected it to be, because I had a DX Beast that was the flippiest thing on earth. I think I gave it away to a newer player. Yeah, Beast is a good flight path. Plastic doesn't always line up with, what you maybe should be throwing for stability, but it is a good disc. So if it's a max distance disc for you, then pick it up and throw it. It's great. But yeah, I do like the Beast. I do like higher premium quality plastic for the Beast because it has a better, tighter flight path at my level. But maybe for you, maybe the Star or DX actually flies really well. I don't know. But yeah, Beast is good. Dude just says, Crave is one of the best new discs I've used. Such a reliable, nice disc. Does it just drift the whole way? Dude just says, siblings love it, but musicals get on my nerves. There are only a few musicals I have liked, personally. Maybe 3. Wicked being one of them, not the movie. Musical. It's a new breed of musical. Yeah. Dylan says, I think a lot of people hate on it because they think it's easy. Oh my goodness. The amount of people who think that disc golf is the easiest sport on earth, but have never thrown a disc in their lives. They even say, it's just throwing a frisbee. And I'm like, it's literally not. It's scientifically not. It's measurably not a frisbee. It's a disc. It's different. Flies differently. It's harder to throw well. It is just unbelievable. At least we don't have to pay a green fee and be told what we can or can't wear. That's true. Except for like A-tier events and stuff where there's a dress code. But yes, just to play disc golf, yes. Get out to a local course and play. The amount of people who hate it and think it's just a waste of time. And I'm like, you're getting out. You're experiencing social environments with other people who are like-minded. You're getting exercise. You're training your body to be more controlled, more athletic, more like you're training your reflexes, your timing. Like it's simply good for you. It's just good for you. Obviously, some people can do it in an unhealthy way or waste their life if they're supposed to be doing something else. But it's just a good hobby. It's just a good sport for people, for families. It's unbelievable how many people hate it and they just have no concept of it just being good. Unbelievable. Doc says, wonder if it's because a lot of city courses are easy or they see hole one and it's usually a simple hole. Doc, I really, truly, I think it's because they see a video. They don't know how far, they don't understand how far 350 feet is. And they think, I've thrown a frisbee far before because they threw it on the beach once and the wind went, and they think it's the same thing. It's so easy. And they have no concept that if you handed them even a mid range, they would throw it 80 feet and it would hyzer off to the side and the second throw would hit a tree. They have no concept, no idea. Dude just says, every time I hear someone say that, it's easy. I invite them to blow me away with their 550-foot drive. Yes. Yeah, it's silly. People just have no understanding of things. Doc says, Dylan, unless in a tournament. LOL, that's true. James says, have you already done a giveaway? I lost one of my favorite discs today. I did run the giveaway. More will happen in the future, but I did run the giveaway, and I'm sorry you lost a disc. I lost 3 myself yesterday, one of them being a like staple in the bag. It sucks. It sucks. Dude just says, one of my main points about how disc golf is better is that it's just insanely more eco-friendly and cheaper. Absolutely true. You don't wreck, like, I don't know, I'm not good with acreage. You don't wreck a bunch of acres of land to put in a golf course. Again, I don't hate golf. I don't care if you like it. Love golf, great. But you're not clearing out that land, destroying a bunch of trees, destroying the local wildlife to put in a golf course. You're taking out a few trees, but you want obstacles. You want to play through the woods. You want to play in the open fields. Disc golf is just better about that. And yes, it's way cheaper. So much more cheaper, more accessible. You can put more courses near each other because they don't have to independently exist financially if they're local parks, and you don't have to like worry about how much natural space they take up because you can just stick them in a park. Now, some courses suck, but at least a course is a course. Baskets are baskets, man. Joseph says, all your videos are fun, my man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think one of the best recent videos is the doubles round where Brett and I try to go perfect through 21 holes on a par 3 course. So watch that one. I would recommend. That's a fun video. Doc says, dude, looking for a stable disc. Beast might be good for them. It's true. Beast is probably a good one if it's in the right plastic. Blaze says the Streak and Osprey are new discs from the Climo discs. I think they're quite nice. Good shout out for that. Thank you, Blaze. And yes, haven't thrown those yet. Dave says, I'm a rookie. Any advice for better accuracy? Thanks. I would say that accuracy, I would say the main thing that helps me with accuracy is foot placement. If my feet are in the right place, there's only so big of a window I can miss by. Your body mechanics and timing, there's a lot of complicated things. But if your stance is good, then your body is kind of putting the disc on a line toward where you're aiming, and you can only deviate so much from that when you let the disc go, unless you like really hook it off your finger off to the right. So I would look up something like Joel Freeman's video, which is called how to, you can't throw over 400 feet, try this, something like that, where he talks about your foot placement and really getting your plant foot, not just forward on the tee pad toward your target, but off to the left, off to the front left corner to create space between your back foot and your front foot, letting you throw better, use your hips better to generate power, and be more accurate. That's helped me so much with hitting gaps, is getting my body set and planting my foot correctly so that there's only, so big of a degree window I can miss by. As far as accuracy in terms of being accurate as to where your disc is going to land. I would say learn your discs, learn their distances and how they fly, and pick consistent. So flippy discs are great. I love flippy discs, but if you have a choice between a 200-foot shot where you turn and fade and a 200-foot shot where you throw straight and or highs are in, pick the simpler line if you can throw it. Dude just says, I think people calling it frolf are single-handedly setting the sport back years. That's a tough one because, yes, it kind of has the connotation of being this loose, no rules, hippie. No offense to all the hippies in the live stream. Sport, or not even a sport, but just this hobby where you just chuck stuff around and goof off. And obviously you can have fun like that if you want to, but as a serious sport with a pro tour, it's a very different thing from frolf. Doc says field work, maybe grab a water bottle or cone and work on coming in close. There you go. Easy to play disc golf, hard to get there in par or less. It's hard to get good at disc golf. Disc golf is easier to get decent at than golf. Golf courses are bad for the environment, destroy ecosystems, and deprive the soil. It's true. And I would say as well for golf, it is hard to get good at golf and easier to get good at disc golf, but it's still equally hard to win at the highest level because the level of competition is still unbelievable in both. Dylan says, depends on the course. Where I am, a local course has a 200-foot hole par 5 that's in the open. That's hilarious. I want to film there just so I can catch the tee sign and get an albatross or ace it. If it's 200 feet in the open, I would play till I ace and get whatever that is. What's better than an albatross? A condor? I don't even know. Just on camera, it would be, people would be so mad about it, but it would get so many comments. It would be great. Dylan, where are you? Are you near North Carolina? I can't remember if you're in New York or Alabama or what. Wonder if it's an older course. Older courses have higher pars often for easy holes. Dude says, always say that disc golf is as complex or difficult as you want it to be. That's true. Joseph says, brother makes 380 look effortless, and I throw my back out for 350, so I get why people think it's easy. I've been playing 3 years and don't get how people throw 400 plus. Yeah, it is just body mechanics. It's just body mechanics. I don't have that 400 plus very often. I kind of eke in there with the wild honey, but yeah, it is just, yeah. Doc says sometimes you're putting more trees in. Blaze knows about that. I feel bad for him because some people break the trees that he plants, but he's planted so many trees to soak up water and create more obstacles for the course. It's been really cool, especially in Gainesville, Florida, Northside Park. It makes me angry to see people ill review a putter course. That is one of the most annoying things, is a course is what it is, and its quality as far as rating should not be determined by the style of course that it is. It should be determined by the quality of course that it is. So if it is a pitch and putt, it shouldn't be too easy. It's a pitch and putt course. For a pitch and putt, how good is it? That is fair. All right, I'm going to wrap up because I'm getting old and tired. Oh, gosh. Let's agree to blame Brad. Great. I skip a little talk back between Dujan and Doc, and I'm the one to blame. Frolf implies that we use frisbees, true. Dujan, always feel like a nerd explaining the differences between discs and frisbees. Yes, it's so annoying. No, not annoying. That's the wrong word. It's so, it puts you in the spot of, yeah, sounding like a nerd. But, hey, nerd all the way. Nerds rule the world. Dylan, in Indiana, used to live in Charlotte, and I miss how nice the courses were. Yeah. Indiana, okay. Dude, also in Indiana, but the cooler, hillier part. Yeah, Indiana, I'd have to get lucky to swing on a route to Michigan. My family's in Michigan. I have to swing through at a spot where I could stop at that course to film. Unlikely that I would do that, but that'd be funny. Wesley says, hey man, I meant to ask you this at some point, but is that a buzzsaw behind you on the middle shelf? That's so funny. Duja asked to see that earlier. Yeah. So I got this buzzsaw, Charlotte Amateur Champion stamp buzzsaw, and I don't think I've thrown it yet. But yes, it's a buzzsaw. Dude has dibs if we can strike a deal. Joseph says, come down to Conroe, Texas, 10 courses in 30 minutes, which is great. Like, that's awesome. And obviously, Charlotte is like next level because it's like 30 courses in 30 minutes. But that's nothing against Conroe, Texas. I would love to visit Texas at some point. That'd be super cool. And I actually have probably had 3 different Texas people say, hey, if you're in Texas, let me know. And I'm like, that would be awesome. Get some disc golf tours would be sweet. But yeah, Texas is a bit out of the way. Maybe at some point next year, I can do some more traveling. Flight Medic says, thank you for supporting me, man. What's some advice for a new YouTuber? Ooh, great question. Keep at it. Put in what you want to get out of it. If you want to consistently, this is what I did. I said, I'm not going to have the best content on earth. I can't. I'm not the Mr. Beast of YouTube. I'm not Jay Milley or whatever. I'm not on the Pro Tour. I'm at a different level. But what I can do is be very consistent over a long period of time and keep going no matter what. And that is where I am. I have built a subscriber base of just consistent videos and interaction. I respond to every comment that's not utter nonsense or vile. That's what works for me, is that I lean very heavily into the community part of my videos, not as much the highest of quality or highest of clickability of my videos, although I want to get more views, obviously. So depending on what you want to build, focus your efforts to try to build it. I know that's lame advice, but it's really how I thought of things and what's really helped me a lot. Don't expect to get rich from it. Sorry. That is unfortunately the truth. But if you just want to enjoy it and you want to kind of experience putting out those videos and getting better at it and getting a bit of a group or an audience together, then that's an amazing thing. It helps the sport, and keep at it. The last thing I'll say is try to, this is kind of hard to describe, but try to come up with something that is uniquely yours, because it doesn't even have to be that different, but it just a little bit to stand out. That's a you thing, because it was almost by accident. I didn't really know what to do for like a series of videos. So I started doing the birdie, just every day, one birdie. And I did a birdie of the day, number 1. And I kind of accidentally created my long-standing birdie of the day. But when I realized that was my thing, the birdie of the day, it's the thing that I kind of made for myself. And again, it's not that different. Everybody on earth can, well, any disc golfer who's decent can get a birdie, film it, and put it up as their birdie of the day. But I'm the birdie of the day disc golfer, and people recognize me and say, "You're the birdie of the day guy," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And it's not because I'm that good of a disc golfer. It's because I have a birdie every single day, and a lot of them are relatable. A lot of them are easy, and that is something that isn't unique beyond belief, but it is the kind of unique element of my channel that people recognize as me, as my thing. So if you can come up with something like that can be just a little bit different, but it's uniquely you, that can kind of be a real foundation for your channel. This is kind of, I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. I think you understand, but I would say that took me months to get to. So don't expect to just think of it tonight, but kind of keep that in mind when you're posting content, when you're putting things together. Obviously, Joseph with another round just posts ace runs. That's his thing. His reputation is, can he ace this basket? Other people have other things or similar things. So yeah. Anyway, I hope it helps a little bit. Mindset is everything. Effort is everything. Disc golf niche is small, so don't expect to get rich. Okay. I'm going to run through the last few, and then I'll be heading off for the night. All I got to do is take a detour close to Cincy, and you'll be at my course. There you go. I might have to swing through. It'd be awesome. Condor is an ace on a par 5. You got to use a condor to hit it. Oh my gosh. It's a great idea. I love that, Doc. Midwest says, what's up, man? Love the content. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Going says, where are you from? Charlotte, North Carolina. Great disc golf city. Dylan says, I like the vibes of your video. Very down to earth. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Flight says, that makes sense. Thank you, man. Consistency is key. It seriously is. It truly is. Dujit says, Birdie of the Day is what introduced me to the channel. And that's just like kind of crazy to me that led to me live streaming every week and knowing you guys by your YouTube names and some of you your real names. And like, you know me, and we have running jokes, and it's just crazy that came out of me just figuring out that I'm going to post a birdie every day. Just kind of fun. It's just crazy. Maybe one day you can start getting an ace a day. I tried to get, somebody recommended, who was it? Maybe it was Disc Respect, said try to get 30 aces by the time you're 30 years old, and you can like post a compilation video. I didn't actually really try for it, but I was hitting an ace like a week for a few weeks, and I was like, oh, maybe I can. And then they closed down Blair Mill, which was my like local ace run course, and redesigned it so you can't ace run anymore. Poop redesign, in my opinion. And it like, I was like, broken heart. That's not happening. But yeah, the ace videos are fun. I like ace runs every once in a while. I like to have a good ace run a week is great, in my opinion, for the content. Doc says, Brad, important. Can you hit 4-2-3? Yes, but maybe not in the air. Flight says, thank you. You're welcome. There's a par 5 in North Carolina, par 5, 423 feet. I don't know that I could hit it with a condor in the air, like only the wild honey, and probably after it hits the ground. Is it downhill? I'll have to look that up. Hole 4 at Lakes Edge Disc Golf in Reedsville. Okay, I'll have to try to look that up. That's cool. Dylan, gotta go. See you later. Good luck on the courses. Hopefully no lost discs. See you, Dylan. Thanks for hanging out. Flight, have you done the giveaway? I did. It's about 33 minutes into the video, into the live stream. So if you want to rewind, you can check that. But I don't think that you won because I really didn't recognize the names of many of the winners. But congrats to them. Easiest par 5 you can find. Okay, thank you, Doc, for the research. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Flight Medic, by the way, shout out to Flight Medic. If you haven't subscribed to Flight Medic DG, there is literally no better time than right now, because you can click on his channel name right there in the comments. And I'm ending the stream, so there's no point in you staying here listening to me for the next 18 seconds only. So go subscribe to Flight Medic. That way you can finally get his giveaway going so I can win a disc. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Good luck and keep it up. You've got this. Dude says I'll send a DM with picks to trade sometime tomorrow. Ooh. Premium T-Bird and Envy. Interesting. Do you have a proxy for me? Maybe throw a proxy. If you don't see one you like, you can give it away. Okay. Sounds good, man. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Peace out. Did I miss anything important? I don't think so. I'll catch you guys later. Need some food.